This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
There is a battle raging, one that many don't even realize exists. A fight in which anyone can be the victim and anyone can be the aggressor. It can be motivated by politics, by ideals, or simply by financial gain. Just recently, a large company was targeted, and due to one of these attacks, ended up more than $60 million worse off. Targeted attacks are a reality. What you're about to see is based on the real story of one such attack.
Dude, don't even go there.
Go where?
Everyone knows hand shot first.
Hand shot second.
What are you talking about? You not seen the original 1977? First.
Second.
Hey, get over here. I got a job. So this is what we're gonna do. First of all, we need to research the target. Find out what you can about their finances and social interactions. Make a list of departments and staff and get them on the wall. I want to know what these people are like. What are their online habits? Do they talk about their employer online? Also get me their perimeter security and internet-facing systems. We really need to know what we're dealing with here.
The criminals have examined the target's defenses and know what they're up against. Now they're packing and encoding different malware samples to make sure they remain undetected by standard security software. Sean is using anonymizing software to connect to underground forums. These are used to offer attack toolkits, intelligence, or even just for criminals to offer each other advice.
So what do we have, Ralph?
Well, we have our tools set up. The ones that didn't get picked up by any of the security scanners we set up.
And for access, we set up a booby-trap website that will install the tool on the computer as soon as the user gets there. The link was sent to all the email addresses that we found on the social profiles of the employees. Now we just gotta wait for them to take the bait.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Conaty. Now, on this show, we talk about everything in the sun, and tonight, we're going to talk about cybercrime. You know, folks, we live in an interconnected world. Almost all of us, in one way or another, are on the internet. And because we live in a digital landscape, a lot of the things we hold dear to us, photos, mementos, personal records, important documents, financial information, personal information, can be stored and can be accessed on the internet. And because of that, there raises a need for us to protect these from unauthorized and illegal access. So joining us to talk about this very important topic of cybercrime and cybersecurity are two guys from one of the leading companies involved in safeguarding our online documents and secrets and valuables. And this is Trend Micro. Joining us is Paul Oliveria, and he is the Technical Communications Manager of Trend Micro. Joining him is Nicholas Ramos, Senior Malware Trainer of Trend Micro. Guys, welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Okay.
Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you. You know, this is a very nice topic, Paul, Nick, because actually for quite a long time I've been wanting to feature this. And, you know, because this is something that involves all of us.
Yes.
Because all of us have, as I mentioned in my spiel, all of us have things online these days, no?
Right.
Whether it's some things like photos or information, valuable information, and these can be hacked, right? Now, before we go into that, let's talk about your backgrounds. Let's start with Paul.
Well, as a person, I've been with the company for more than 12 years now. I started out as a technical writer. Prior to that, well, I'm an IT graduate, but my passion is more into the writing aspect, literature, whatever. So that's the reason when I joined Trend Micro, I was a technical writer. So my job then was to make sure that whatever these guys are analyzing, all the technical jargon, I try to translate that into a more layman's terms.
So people like me can understand.
Yes. And that kind of evolved. So right now, what my job right now, apart from coordinating with the researchers to talk about the stories, what's happening right now, what's the latest modus operandi of the cybercrimes. I still do the writing part or coordinating with the stories, and basically deliver the threat information to the public. So that
Very
people be
nice,
aware.
very nice. And you know, this is part of what we're doing now to spread this message to the public, because so many people are blissfully unaware of the real threat, no?
Yes.
That's out there.
That's correct, yeah.
How about you, Nick? What's your background?
So yeah, I think we're the same with Paul. We started like 2004, and before I entered Trend Micro, I didn't know anything about this security threats, malwares, and when I was hired by Trend Micro, I was trained for like 6 months to do reverse engineering and malware analysis. Okay, to analyze, to create detections for these malwares. And today, currently, I'm the one who's providing the training to those new engineers, but also I've done training with external clients and maybe with law enforcement.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting industry you guys are in. Now, what is it like to work in this pseudo-police cyber unit? What is it like to work in this industry, Paul?
Oh, it's never boring. That's one aspect of that one. So I've been in the company for 12 years, and it's not as if, you know, my job is routine, because you learn something new every day. You see like how the landscape has evolved. I know, at least for most Filipinos, when you see computer virus, okay, that's, you know, that's what they know as the ones that infect their hard drives or your diskettes. But when you call them malware, it's something like, you know, what's that? So apparently the computer virus that we know before, it has a lot of different types. So we learned that in the company. And like I said, so it's not boring in a sense that if you hear the news, if you see the news of what's the latest, you know, data breach or infection or the global, you know, hacking threat or whatever. So it's kind of like, yeah, we investigated that.
Let's define terms first. You mentioned virus, which all of us really, when we started computers maybe 15, 20 years ago, no?
Yeah.
Okay, viruses were there. They prevented us from running our disks, our diskettes properly.
Yeah.
Diskette pa, no?
Yes.
Things like that, no? But now you mentioned malware. Let's define first for the viewer. What is a malware?
So basically, malware is a software that would have some malicious behaviors. And most of the time, they don't have some user consent. So users doesn't really know what's really happening in the machine.
It happens behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
You don't
at
see
the background.
what's going on. Sure.
Right. So before, like you said, viruses, most people would term it as virus, right? But basically, virus is just one type of malware. Okay. So virus is basically defined as a malware that infects files. Okay. So somehow
It's a parang general term.
Yes,
Virus. Okay.
right.
Okay.
So it infects files. So once you have an infected file, you copy this file or maybe place it onto another flash drive or a memory card, and another user would use that. Then basically he or she could get infected also.
So okay, virus is the general definition, general term, no? Virus.
Actually,
No,
malware.
Malware is a general term.
Yes.
So under that, how many types of
So we have 3 major categories.
Okay.
Okay, we have the viruses, we have the worms, and we have Trojans.
Okay.
Okay.
Quickly, let's define them.
Yeah, sure. Like I've said, viruses are the malwares that infects files.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And worms are malwares that propagate from one machine to another,
Okay.
without any without any somehow user intervention. Okay. And the next.
They just spread. No, they
Yes,
just spread. Yeah.
that's right. And the last is Trojan. So Trojan would any malware that doesn't have any capability of moving from one machine to another.
Yeah.
So, but most of the time they are the ones who steal information, the one who would somehow keylog or steal the passwords and credit card details.
So in this sense, Trojan would be the worst. Trojan would be the worst.
No, virus is the worst because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, virus would be the worst because it has somehow it could propagate quickly.
Okay, and then spread, no?
And spread, okay?
Okay.
At the same time, it could have some behaviors of a Trojan. Okay.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, before we jump into that, I just want to define it now clearly, so at least people watching will know as we throw these terms out, they know what a Trojan is, a malware, a Trojan, virus, and a worm. No. Now let's talk about Trend Micro. For most of us, really, we're aware of the name. Anyone who's used the computer has heard of Trend Micro, and it's because you guys have one of the most popular free antivirus software available. No.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about the company, because Trend Micro is so much more than just that.
Yeah, so Trend Micro is the leading information technology, security, internet content, and cloud security provider in the world. So it started out in around 1988.
Wow.
It was founded by Steve Chang, our chairman, together with his wife and sister-in-law. So our CEO is Eva Chen, who is also Taiwanese. They are now based in the US. The company's vision is essentially we want to make the world safe in exchanging digital information, which is, as you mentioned earlier in your spiel, that we have a lot of digital information right now.
Absolutely.
And they kind of like forecasted that in like 27 years ago that a lot of people are moving towards digital age. All that information are being digitized. So when these viruses started, so they had that particular vision to create this company. So it started out in 1988 in the US, and then it soon grew into a network of companies. The Trend Labs, which is the headquarters of Research and Development Center, is founded in 1998 here in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Yes, so the headquarters for R&D is here.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are one of the largest business units of Trend Micro as well, with about 1,000 engineers working 24/7 to make sure that all the threats, the solutions are covered.
Now, wait, I want to jump in there because it's very interesting. Now, most of us, like me personally, I had my first introduction to Trend Micro mga late 90s. When we first started really getting into the internet, right? I mean, this and having the need for antivirus, which you could download free, this Trend Micro. Now, I had no idea it was like almost 30 years old, but impressive. It's grown and so in that time. How big is the company?
The company
Worldwide.
itself, Trend Micro, is about 5,000 strong. About 20, 30 business units all over the world. And we are financially traded in Tokyo Stock Exchange, basically. And we consider ourselves as the largest pure play security provider, meaning compared to our competitors where they also have other like IT services,
Okay.
our focus is more into security.
Protection.
Yes. From the endpoint, like the desktops, the laptops, to the servers, both in the premises of an enterprise or to the cloud,
Yeah.
like in the hosted services.
Yeah.
So we make sure that we have security for that, both free for some of the tools and of course the services.
Which is good, no? Because it makes you guys concentrate on your core
Yes.
business, your core competency, which is really protection, which is what we all need.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Philippine operations. I mean, very interesting, that the biggest unit of Trend Micro, this big, cyber protection company, is based here in the Philippines. Why is it based in the Philippines?
Okay, so I think there's three basic reasons. First would be we are very fluent in English, right? So since we support worldwide, globally, so we must, at least when our founders established Trend Labs here in the Philippines, they take note of, okay, Filipinos are really fluent with English. So that's one thing. And another thing is, I think, the location, okay? Because we have offices like Taiwan, there's in China and Japan. So we need to somehow collaborate with them, okay? So most of the time. So it means that this is a very strategic location, okay?
Yeah.
And I think for the third reason is because I think there's a lot of talents here in the Philippines. I think during the time is we have a lot of IT graduates who really would have the passion to
Okay, Paul, I have a question. Why not India? I mean, they got 1.2 billion people and a lot of IT people in India, no? I mean, so why the Philippines? What is it about the Pinoy that the Filipinos that made Trend Micro sit up and take notice of us, of all the options they could have had? Why the Philippines?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we also asked that to our chairman before. So, and I think what impressed the co-founders, when they started the Philippines here, apart from the strategic location,
Yeah.
I think it's also the culture. I think as Filipinos, we are very helpful, service-oriented. We have the bayanihan trait wherein, and the resilience in a sense that, if there's an issue, we try our best to solve it ourselves first. We don't rely anything to anyone else, apart from the small community that we have. So that's something that I think reflected to how we deal with our our customers and our clients, and say, okay, they do have good customer service, and the can-do attitude to make sure that the customers are satisfied when dealing with things like that.
But you're talking about customer service and human resource related issues. But you said that R&D is based in the Philippines. This also is indicative of that talent of the Filipino. What makes the Filipino so good at this? It cuts both ways, no?
Right.
I mean, at hacking as well. Let's be frank, no? What is it about the Pinoy?
I think for Filipinos, we are very patient, because when we do analysis, when we reverse a malware, it's not a one-shot deal. It takes time. Sometimes, like I've said, before you have the expertise when doing malware reverse engineering, it takes, like, for me, we took like 6 months to train.
Wow.
And to gain those knowledge. So it really takes some patience to learn these things.
And if I may also, I think the can-do attitude again reflects here in the mindset, because their training, essentially as an engineers, you have to unlearn a lot of things. In college, they are taught to compile, to program, build something from scratch.
Interesting.
That's the reverse in our industry.
Yes.
You have the malware, you have the Trojan. It's already compiled, it's running. You have to deconstruct that and see what actually is running in there. And it takes patience, it takes resilience. Sometimes it takes a lot of, blood and sweat, I guess.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As in to unlearn, no?
Yes.
To think the other way, as Paul was saying, no?
That's right.
How do you now train a lot of training goes on. No? You are the senior malware trainer.
Right.
How much training do Filipinos get in Trend Micro? Is this an ongoing process?
Yes. So currently, we have like four batches per year. Most of the time, it's composed of 10 people, and we prepare them with all of the things they need, tools, techniques, even the core technologies of Trend Micro, how to create the detection signatures for the malwares. And aside from that, I think we are also focused on developing them to be with our culture, because Trend Micro has a very good company culture, and we must ensure that they would be fit in to our culture.
What is that company culture that Nick is talking about, Paul? What kind of culture do you seek to create in Trend Micro?
Well, so one of the core values that we have is trustworthiness, definitely.
Oh, yes.
So we have, apart from delivering to the customers that when we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it. As an industry also, so we have to make sure that our engineers are basically white hats, because when I say white hats, basically we're on the good side of things. They learn a lot of things that if they go rogue, they can actually create their own malware.
And maybe even be better than those guys out there.
And maybe earn more money, actually.
No, because your engineers have the perspective from the people from the side that's trying to prevent this from happening.
That's right.
So you would know how to get around. You would be more adept at getting around these defenses. No?
That's right. So that basically that's part of the trainings. You see it. Are they culture fit? Can they handle the pressure? Yes. Can they handle the
temptation?
Can they handle the fast turnaround time of the threats happening every second? Technically.
Quickly, we're gonna pause for a break in about 30 seconds. But quickly, how many Filipinos? How big is the unit here in the Philippines?
It's about 1,000 engineers.
Wow.
So it's about 30% or 30 to 40% are really focused on threat research. So they're the guys that kind of like investigate and learn about the malware.
Interesting. So we're talking about 300, 400 people, engineers, Filipino, doing nothing, but just finding the new, detecting the new viruses and things like that, and malware, and then trying to find solutions to these or defend. That's all they do.
Yep.
Yes.
Amazing. So guys, we have a pause for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the situation in the Philippines and the world and how this is affecting you guys and what you guys are doing to counter the international threat of cyber terrorism. Guys, stick around for more of cybercrime and security when Philippines Uncut returns. Yeah, please lang. Okay, and then next week.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Are on the internet. And because we live in a digital landscape, a lot of the things we hold dear to us, photos, mementos, personal records, important documents, financial information, personal information, can be stored and can be accessed on the internet. And because of that, there raises a need for us to protect these from unauthorized and illegal access. So joining us to talk about this very important topic of cybercrime and cybersecurity are two guys from one of the leading companies involved in safeguarding our online documents and secrets and valuables. And this is Trend Micro. Joining us is Paul Oliveria, and he is the Technical Communications Manager of Trend Micro. Joining him is Nicholas Ramos, Senior Malware Trainer of Trend Micro. Guys, welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Okay.
Pleasure to have you here.
First,
Second.
Hey, get over here. I got a job. So this is what we're gonna do. First of all, we need to research the target. Find out what you can about their finances and social interactions. Make a list of departments and staff and get them on the wall. I want to know what these people are like. What are their online habits? Do they talk about their employer online? Also get me their perimeter security and internet-facing systems. We really need to know what we're dealing with here.
Criminals have examined the target's defenses and know what they're up against. Now they're packing and encoding different malware samples to make sure they remain undetected by standard security software. Sean is using anonymizing software to connect to underground forums. These are used to offer attack toolkits, intelligence, or even just for criminals to offer each other advice.
So what do we have, Ralph?
Well, we have our tools set up. And the ones that didn't get picked up by any of the security scanners we set up.
and for access, we set up a booby-trap website that will install the tool on the computer as soon as the user gets there. The link was sent to all the email addresses that we found on the social profiles of the employees. Now we just gotta wait for them to take the bait.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Conaty. Now, on this show, we talk about everything in the sun, and tonight, we're going to talk about cybercrime. You know, folks, we live in an interconnected world, almost all of us, in one way or another.
There is a battle raging, one that many don't even realize exists. A fight in which anyone can be the victim and anyone can be the aggressor. It can be motivated by politics, by ideals, or simply by financial gain. Just recently, a large company was targeted, and due to one of these attacks, ended up more than $60 million worse off. Targeted attacks are a reality. What you're about to see is based on the real story of one such attack.
Dude, don't even go there.
Go where?
Everyone knows hand shot first.
Hand shot second.
What are you talking about? You not seen the original 1977?